I remember one of them, and listen, there's a bunch of them, but there's one of them where Garth has a private jet. So this is when he was. Do you remember when he tried out to be like I forget what the team was, the Yankees or the Cubs? Multiple times he's tried out to play baseball. Wants to be a baseball star. He can't make the team, but he keeps donating money for them to give him a chance. Like, hey, here's $3 million to this charity. Let me try out. So he goes down to wherever, Fort Lauderdale or wherever, and he tries out. So, in one of these places, flies the private jet in. It's parked at the airport. He's playing. A guy ends up missing, and the guy's car. Steven? So, the guy's car ends up in long-term parking at the airport. I mean, pretty odd. The guy ends up disappearing here next to the stadium where he's playing, and his car ends up in the long-term parking right next to where Garth's private plane is.
Whoa.
And look, there's a bunch of them. Look, when I say a bunch, there's 200 here, right? There's 200. There's some of them, take 7 or 8 of them that are pretty, you're like, wow, that's pretty interesting that like in the parking lot across the street from the stadium here, somebody ends up disappearing. You start adding them all up. And granted, it's confirmation bias. You could do the same thing with Madonna, right? She's got 1,000 tour dates. You could obviously, I could say Madonna's a fucking serial killer and come up with just as many, I'm sure. But man, bro, some of them you're like, oh, Jesus, that's really, really odd. Like really odd.
How many of them would you say are like really, really close to being like, do you think it's like really high probability it could have been him?
I mean, I'd say.
First of all, how many total are in the book?
I want to say the combination of the two, over 200.
Over 200.
So we're talking about 120 missing persons and 90 unsolved homicides.
Okay. And out of all of those, which ones do you think are, how many of them do you think are like really, 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 really high probability?
Maybe 10. And I mean stuff like Garth Brooks has a bar, Friends in Low Places in Nashville. About less than a mile away. There's a homeless person that ends up disappearing. The body's found half a mile away from Garth's bar. And Garth, by the way, lives not far from there. He's got like I forget what it's called, Blue Ridge Estates or something. He's built this massive house where he and Trisha Yearwood live. Listen, there's so many. There's one where they park. There's a convoy of trucks, right? Like 18-wheelers that stop at a rest stop. Garth Brooks is going from this state to this state. He has to go along this route. There are 18-wheelers that are parked at a rest stop. There's a young girl who's traveling to school. She travels the same route. She pulls over at the rest stop, parks there, disappears. She's never seen again. Her mother calls and says, calls the highway patrol and says, listen, she never showed up to school. The next day, they find her car at the rest stop. They ask a bunch of witnesses, and the witnesses say, yeah, I remember her. She was speaking to a guy who was 6 foot tall, had brown hair, about in his mid-30s, same age Garth was at the time. And they said that guy was somehow connected to a bunch of an 18-wheeler. I think he was either in the truck or had some kind of connection. He was connected to this truck, and then the girl disappears. And you think, okay, that's pretty odd. But what's really odd is that the girl's body was found like 2 states over a week later on the side of the road on another highway that Garth's convoy had to travel to his next spot.
Whoa.
So super, super odd. Very odd, right? Right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them where it's just like, hey, 2 miles away from where he was performing, somebody disappeared. 4 miles away from where he was at the Grammy Awards,
right?
Somebody was found choked to death or shot. Here, like there's those which seem random until you start adding up the numbers.
And then how do the police? How is it possible that there's never been any sort of evidence or DNA linking back to him? Like how could he sort of get the police to cover for him in all of these incidents?
Funny you should mention that. There's one instance where 2 people were taken hostage. So when I say taken hostage, they were, I don't know if you want to say kidnapped, whatever. They're in the car. A boyfriend and girlfriend are in a car. Someone forces them to go driving. At some point during the drive, what is he? Is he taking them out to the woods to kill the two of them? Is he? Who knows? But they're driving with someone in the backseat. At some point, the boyfriend gets shot. The girlfriend's driving. So the boyfriend gets shot. The girlfriend panics, pulls the car over, jumps out and runs. She gets shot several times. And they find her body, 30 yards away. She's been shot a bunch of times, several times. Then the car is set on fire. Most likely, why would he set the car on fire? She's already got a body here and a body here because there probably was DNA. So so whoever this is, they're very apt at covering their tracks. They're not leaving semen. They're not leaving blood. And if there is blood, it looks to me like they're aware of it and taking measure to try and get rid of it. And keep in mind too, a lot of these are 20 some odd years ago, 30 years. This is dates back to the 90s. So, maybe there's evidence, maybe there's not evidence. I don't know. Are they finding Garth's CDs at the scene? I don't know. It's possible. I'm just trying to do God's work here.
Well, I wonder what would happen if you searched like Reddit or something online and be like best evidence for Garth Brooks murder or homicide, and like see what people come up on the internet. Like, I wonder if there's any like clips or any more interesting like interview tidbits or like online investigations that people have done to try to like find some sort of connection here. What is this thing you have here? What is in this tube?
First of all, you want to see the book?
Yeah.
So this is the book cover. Don't show the back of the book because it's fucked up. Just the front.
A serious examination into the allegation, is Garth Brooks a serial killer? Bodies in Low Places by Matthew B. Cox and Pierre Rossini.
So that's the cover.
God damn.
Yeah, half the book is really just the research.
200 pages.
Well, it's over two. It's like 2 something.
211 pages.
Half the book is just the research. The first half is just basically the, whatever you want, expose.
Right.
The satirical expose.
How long have you guys been working on this?
A few months, bro. Like 6 months.
Wow.
So here's the funny thing.
Where's the chapter outline?
In the front.
What's funny, Steve?
That's where all the.
I was going to say, where
they all are.
I put it in the middle of the.
Well, why can't I find it?
Turn it.
Prologue. Then what goes to 1?
Oh, really?
There's no fucking chapter outline here.
Ah, what the? Oh, I think the. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's because these are the printed versions. I typically. Yeah, you're right. Oh, well, whatever. Listen. So this is the version of the book. This is the photo that I wasn't allowed to use.
Who said you weren't allowed to use it?
The bearded lawyer.
Okay.
So a lawyer who specializes in defamation. Well, he looked at the book, he heard about it, told everything. He was like, yeah, you can say this, you can't say this. You could looked at this, you looked at it, And one of the things he had said was the photograph that I used was copywritten. But because I altered it in such a way, it eliminates the copyright.
Sure.
I changed it so much that it becomes satire, right? Just like the book, it's satire. So the image is satire. He said, here's the problem. He'll still be able to, they're still going to be able to sue you.
Right.
Like they're going to try and sue you under saying it's copyrighted. He's like, and you'll win the lawsuit. But do you want to spend $200,000 fighting it and win to win?
Right.
He's like that's just like, don't put it up. He's like, that's his only real.
That'd be good content. Matt Cox going to court against Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
In a lawsuit.
Huge.
That'd be great.
So here's.
Might be worth it.
You
open it up. Open it up and show it.
This was the original.
That's incredible.
I like that one.
Wow.
Now, this by the way, this is actually the movie poster for American Psycho. Only I
replaced the face with him.
Yeah, with Garth, right? And I did this on my
on Photoshop.
Photoshop, of course.
That's beautiful.
I did add the blood splatter,
blood
spot, which I thought was nice. It's a nice little
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
I know, but he was like, yeah, don't. I just think he's like it's obviously it's satiric, but
Yeah.
listen, it's a lot of fun, and my goal is to get on Tom Segura. Right? Like he's got to jump on this, right? This is hilarious.
Yeah, it is
this is
amazing.
perfect. Especially if you actually went through the book. If he went through the book, he'd be like, "Holy shit, this is fucking great." And I interviewed all these people. I've weaved these interviews through the whole thing. I have comparisons to, this happened, and just like Jeffrey Dahmer, just like so and so. Is this odd behavior? Well, it ties right in with Ted Bundy, and we explain the Ted Bundy. We explain all of these tie-ins. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That's incredible. What do you got, Steve?
All right. So there's like a clip of Garth saying that he wants to be a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
But then they kept on updating it. And they said a little update again, and they said they might be going crazy, but if you list the dates of some of these murders, which is the Lady Bird Lake murders, whatever that is, some of them match up with Tom Segura's touring schedule.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. So somebody took this and they did the same thing with Tom Segura. That's the whole thing. It's confirmation bias. You could do the same thing with Madonna. Anybody who's got a massive amount of tour dates,
right?
You're going to be able to do the same thing.
Right. Well, I mean, he definitely is an odd duck.
Yeah, definitely.
There's definitely something off about him.